You told me about it, right?
Right. And it just like laid out, you know, the exercises, you know, on how to visualize success. And I just followed the book, and it was...
Yeah, I started to, I put it on audio, and I started to listen to it.
And that book was meant to come to me because it was in the wrong section of the library. It was like somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be. And I just like picked it up and put it back down. And then I was like, I think I should get that book. And I went back and I got it. And that was kind of like the basis for where I learned, you know, to use my mind, like for what I was trying to accomplish. Because before that, I was a gymnast. And I was always disappointed and discouraged and frustrated because, first of all, I didn't have any self-esteem. You know, from my background, like with my family, self-esteem wasn't cultivated. You know, I felt really bad about myself. I didn't love myself. I was always just down on myself. And then I didn't go to like a good gymnastics school. I went to like a community center. So, you know, I really wanted to go to like a private school where they had like good coaches and good equipment and more training time. And my parents like weren't willing to,
Weren't willing.
They weren't willing to, you know, pay for that or drive me there or whatever. So every time I went to a competition, I just like, I felt defeated before I even like competed because I knew it wasn't on their level.
How important do you think it is for parents to support? I was just listening to Tom Brady talk to Daniel Cormier. They did an interview, you know, how his dad got him a psychologist. It was called Champion Mindset. Like it just came out yesterday or the day before. It was so good. It was all like gold. Yeah. Just how his dad, like, hey, let's work on this, let's work on that. And the dad would take him everywhere. And then later on, right after his retirement, he's like, man, like, who are your heroes? He's like, my dad. Yeah, what a difference, right? So I kind of answered the question in a way, but how important how important do you think that is for parents and kids to, you know, for the parents to support their kids and their endeavors?
Okay, well, you can answer the question better than me because you're a parent. I am not a parent, but I can say, like, from my experience when I was growing up, I felt like defeated. I somehow had my mom's support. My mom was the one who drove me to class, and she, you know, got involved like as a gymnastics judge, and she was involved. But my dad was the boss, you know, and when my mom took me to go, we actually had to audition, go to like a good private school.
Right.
And it was, I think, like a 45-minute drive away from where we lived. And then my dad just nixed it. And I think in a way, like for me, I felt like I always felt like disappointed and defeated. It was kind of like my baseline, the way I always felt as a kid. So it didn't surprise me. And then, so to answer your question, I mean, I can't imagine what I could have achieved if I'd had the support of my parents. And when I see families moving from like the Midwest or something like that to LA, so because their 8-year-old wants to be an actor, I'm kind of blown away, you know? I'm like, wow. But things happen for a reason. That was the way things were meant to be for me, I guess, you know? And when I got into boxing and I discovered that book and I learned the power of my mind, it was like things turned around for me.